So today I'm going to do kind of a tutorial type video, although I don't really do those, but I've done this like 5 times before on my old 2011 WRX hatch, and this is a 2014? 13 WRX sedan, limited, whatever. The headlight, I'm basically just going to be taking off the headlight, splitting it, teaching you how to bake them in the oven in order to split the lens from the housing, and then paint the housing all black, because some people don't really like the chrome, some people do. Depends on what your personal taste is. But for that, it requires to take off the full bumper. There's like 2 bolts there, there's one underneath, and then there's one up top. It's really annoying to have to take off the full bumper just to take off the headlights, but that's what we have to do now. The headlights off. Obviously, take off the headlights is the first step. That's what you're obviously going to be doing. Some cars are easier, some cars are harder. Like this kind of requires you to take off the bumper. If you have this exact same car, boom, instant tutorial. But with these headlights, next you're basically going to want to split them, which you would do because there's a seal all around this, and it's black silicone, and it prevents, it makes this airtight inside, meaning it doesn't get condensed or anything, or condensation in there or anything like that. But basically on this headlight, what you would want to do is immediately take out all the bulbs, and then on this one specifically, which I know for a fact, this has little screws, about 5 to 8 of them all around, like there, all around. Do this headlight at a time because it's a lot easier, because if you don't, it can get overwhelming trying to split both, because the longer you take splitting them, the harder the silicone starts to harden. So the whole point is making the silicone soft so you can pry it apart. So I would recommend using a wooden board or something. I had the oven preheated to about 350, and you only want to put it in there for like 5 minutes. That's really it. You want to make sure that the headlight or the plastic isn't really too close to any of the metal, otherwise it could melt the metal. That's why you want to use a board, because if the metal does touch the plastic, it will start to melt it. But once again, this is just going to soften up the silicone, so like 3 to 5 minutes, nothing crazy. So it's been about 5 minutes. You want to have a flathead handy to kind of start prying, or if you have like one of those plastic prying tools for trims inside of cars, that helps too. But go. Take the board out so it doesn't get too hot. So basically there's going to be a couple of clips, as you can see right there. There's obvious points of contact there, and you can see it coming apart right there. And you kind of just want to slowly keep prying it around all the edges. Kind of just flip it over. And that. And boom. Separated. So this is your housing. That's how it looks inside, obviously. Just want to make sure that the silicone doesn't stick to anything important, so to say, because while it's warm, you can use it. So just take some of it that came out and kind of mash it back into these jams, because you will need to have some in there for when you put it back in. And that looks good. So obviously all cars are different, but the method for it applies, kind of, if that makes sense. But some of them, the housing will just be bolted on to the main part and you can unbolt it. Some of them you can't bolt it off at all and you're going to have to tape off your projector, your high beam bowls, whatever it is. This one is fairly simple because you can literally just, there's some silicone there still. You can genuinely just right there's a bolt there, there, and this whole thing will come out. Still stuck to the silicone over here, but there you go. That's the actual housing right there. Oh, you know, there's many different approaches you could do with this, with doing different things. You can have it where what I did on my old Subaru was I painted everything black, and then I taped off this little circle which sits around the halo and painted it red, so it's kind of like a red halo kind of thing. But she just wants it all black, which I understand. So that's probably what we're going to do, is just spray it black. So I'm just going to go ahead and spray it. I'm just using Rust-Oleum gloss protective enamel. Technically you want to use high heat paints, but honestly almost all paints are high heat paints. Like if you read this, it says that it withstands up to 200 degrees Fahrenheit. Headlights don't get that hot, but like engine paints and stuff like that, they go up to like 500, 750, etc. for paint. So I mean, it works. Like I said, most your headlights don't really get that hot, but if you want to be on the safer side, you can go ahead and get some high temp coating stuff. They come in different colors, mainly engine enamel stuff that you can find at Pep Boys or AutoZone, that are made for like engine headers or engine blocks or engine metal covers. So as you can see, that's the headlight now. And that'll be it for this video. I just wanted to show you guys how to do that if you guys are interested in it. It's a pretty kind of easy thing. I'd rate it like a scale of 2 out of 5 difficulty wise. I mean, it's not really a mechanic thing in my opinion. The most mechanic stuff is like taking off and unplugging that and putting it back on. Honestly, it's not really that hard. But the next video will be putting LED taillights on this. The sun's already setting, so I didn't want to do it today since this camera's horrible at the low light. But I had to go to the dentist and I'm exhausted from work. So that'll definitely be the next video, is replacing these Johnnies with the mint Johnnies. So thanks so much for watching, guys.